Perfect. We're joined now by Treaty United senior manager Dave Rooney. Dave, before we get on to the big weekend, we'll start with last weekend, and I suppose the crazy game against Bohemians away, a 5-4 victory with so many twists and turns. You'd have probably been forgiven for thinking that the worst was coming when you went 3-1 down. But
yeah, we were awful. We were absolutely awful first half. Look, the goals we gave away were absolutely criminal, embarrassing. We had a few really harsh words. I know in the 3 years I've been with the girls, I've never lost a head, but I did the weekend. We were just so poor the first half, and as bad as we were, we came in 3-2 down at half time. We played some really good football in their third and scored some great goals, but we just gave away some silly goals. So in fairness to the girls, they reacted. They showed a bit of bottle in the second half. We quickly got back to 3-3 and then missed a couple of chances to go 4-3, got 4-3, and then the best part about it was we conceded and then scored quickly after it. You know what I mean? So just to show that little bit of guile to come back after conceding in the 91st minute. You know, we weren't done at that. You know, just there was no way we were losing that game after what was said at half time. You know, so.
Yeah, you mentioned you were critical at half time. Do you feel it was probably just a culmination of the fact that you had been leaking a lot of goals in recent weeks?
Yeah, definitely. It's a culmination. It wasn't just this week. It was, a lot of, some silly goals in the last few weeks. We're looking at developing players. We're looking at developing a winning mentality, and we're looking at developing, technical ability as well. But you can't be playing at this level and giving away the level of goals we're given. Yes, it's a development year for us, and it's a transition year as such to get girls used to the league and get girls playing in the league. But it was definitely a culmination of a few weeks of poor defensive performance and poor defensive goals. And but look, in fairness to the girls, we didn't make any changes. They came out in the second half, and they were right up for it in the second half. And as I said, there was no way we were going to lose the game after the rollicking at half time. So delighted with the win at the end. But looking back on the goals, we quickly fast forward through the first half and get on to the second half.
Yeah, it was the second game of the Phase 2 section of the league, Dave, as well. It was another win against Bows too, but obviously the most unpleasing thing for you at the moment is you do currently sit top of Phase 2, which is 6 out of 9 teams. Coming into the season, would you have said you would have taken that, or would you say it would have exceeded expectations, or would you have seen higher?
Oh, look, that was always the plan. It was what we were. If you had said to me at the start of the year, you're going to finish best of the rest of such, or top of Division 2 or Phase 2, and got to a cup semi-final and maybe a cup final, I would have said absolutely that's a good season. We finished ahead of, it would have mean us finishing ahead of Cork or DLR. It's DLR we finished ahead of, or please God we'd finish ahead of. So that's successful. We would have expected the start of the season to finish ahead of the two new teams, but in fairness to Athlone, they have a number this year. They've beaten us twice, so we're taking nothing for granted. But DLR, we'd have to go and win that game and see where we go and see what happens with the other results. But yeah, look, as I said, it's been a development season. We're looking to get players in around it. Look, a lot of young players and getting them up playing, like Jenna Slattery. I think you've just interviewed her there. Like she's the future of the club. Her and the likes of Aoife and Eve. So we're giving the 17s plenty of games and getting them used to the league, and then see where we go from there.
Yeah, I did mention that when I arrived at Jackman Park to cover in one of the first games, that I thought I went to the 17s game rather than the senior game. So you have been playing a lot of 17s players, but that must be very pleasing, as you just mentioned, the fact that they are gaining a lot of experience, but they also have the quality to be able to actually come up and play.
Yeah, look, I just hope I'm here to see the fruits of the labour as such. You know what I mean? That these players, it's going to take 2 or 3 years to get them all through and to get them into senior football. Now it's not as bad as the boys where they'll have to hit 21, 22 to be, but even at 18, 19, you can see Shells now. They have a lot of 18, 19 year olds and they're mixing it up. Even Galway as well, a very young squad as well. But 2 or 3 years, we're going to be a fantastic side. We're going to be a really, really good side, and hopefully, all of these beatings that they're taking now will will stand to them in years to come, and a bit of resilience and a bit of fight and a bit of grit, and they know what it takes now to win a game in the National League, and that's why I was delighted with the last, the quick, when we went 4-4 to go back down the pitch and go 5-4. I was delighted with that.
Yeah, moving on to a big game now for you on Sunday against Cork City in the FAI semi-final. I suppose, look, to reach an FAI semi-final in your first year in existence is a great achievement in itself. You will want to put on a performance and do it justice on Sunday too.
Yeah, 100%. Look, there's a nice little rivalry between the two teams. We're two local teams. We have a couple of Cork girls, they have a couple of Limerick girls. You know, it's a friendly rivalry, but once we get on the pitch, like we'll tear strips off each other, as you say. Like, but yeah, it's great. Look, we're delighted to be in the semi-final, but that's not good enough. Like, we want to get to the final. We want to go and win it. But look, Cork are without doubt favourites for the game. Which has its own pressure. Like, there's no pressure on us. There's nobody expecting us to win anything. There's nobody outside this group of players that's expecting us to win. There's nobody in Irish football, in women's football in Ireland, expecting us to get anything out of the game. I'm sure, you know, one or two of the Cork girls are probably looking at the final already and planning their days out for the final. Like, so, you know, hopefully we can just catch them on the hop. It's 90 minutes. It's a cup game. It's on the day. I've always said that on the day we can give anybody a game. Peamount, Shelbourne, Galway, Cork, it doesn't matter. We give them all a game on the day. But, you know, we need everything to go right for us on the day. We need everybody to turn up. We need everybody to play. We're struggling with injuries at the moment. Aoife Horgan, it looks like she's out. She's a problem with the foot there, and she's gone for a scan today, so I'd say she's going to be out. And Mary Curtin looks like she could be out as well. So they're two big losses for what is probably now the biggest game of the season for us. You know what I mean? So look, we've a big squad. We've been giving girls plenty of games. So hopefully the girls that come in their place now will step up now and see where we go. But we're confident to be no excuses. We're confident of getting something out of the game and progressing to the next round. And everything will need to go right for us on the day.
Yeah, speaking to others that you were involved with before, and the likes of Limerick FC men's and women's team said you were quite meticulous. So I suppose you'll be looking at the game from the 5-2 defeat to Cork earlier, and you will know a bit about the Cork team going into this game.
Yeah, that's the one thing with Cork. In fairness to Ronan, like, he's a good lad, but they don't make too many changes. Their starting 11 is very settled, whereas we're completely the opposite. We've given all 25 players have started games, and you know, their starting 11 is very, very solid. They probably make one or two changes, you know, max a week, and even if that, but in general they're working with a much smaller pool of players, especially with the starting team. So that gives you a fair idea of what they're about. I don't expect Cork to change anything. They don't need to change that. They've beaten us before the way they're playing, so I don't see them coming out and having to change to beat us. I think their mindset will just be, you know, produce their normal game, and they should be good enough for them. So we have to come up with something else to beat them. So look, as soon as the draw was made, we've been meticulous with the videos, myself and Niall and JP, just gone through videos, and we've something in mind to try and you know, change what happened today in Jackman Park. I think we were a little bit, you know, coffer pace at the back and things like that. So look, definitely we've had a look at it. We have something in mind to try and deal with. We're working on it there all week. So let's see if it comes off.
And finally, Dave, it probably shows the quality of the Women's National League. Not that we needed to know anymore about the 4 or 5 really top teams. Peamount yesterday suffering penalty heartache against a really good Glasgow side, but it does just show you that they were within a kick of a ball of progressing. So, you know,
yeah, my heart goes out to Lauren. I would have worked with Lauren O'Callaghan back when she was under 14 and 15 with the schools. Like, so I know Lauren, I know James fairly well as well. My own daughter's up in Maynooth with James, so he'd coach her up there. Like, I texted him straight after the game. I've gutted for him, you know what I mean? But there's nothing between. There's nothing between the Irish and Scottish leagues. There's nothing between Peamount and Glasgow. And I'd say if we were playing one of the lower teams in Scotland, there'd be nothing between. Like, they're two very, very similar leagues. The only thing is the Scottish teams are going professional now this year, and but you know, there's no reason why Peamount in time can't go professional, and why we can't become professional in time to come and see. But yeah, absolutely good for them last night. You know, they're our champions representing our league, and they've done a great job for us.